Thanks for inviting us to your home to talk about aphasia and apraxia. Firstly, what do you want people to know about you?
What people? I was working full time and a mother of two 20-something children, and like spending time with friends and family and going to the movies with my husband. Yeah, yeah.
How would you describe your experience with aphasia, apraxia, and communication challenges?
Um, I was extremely scared when I first realised that I had a communication changes, and then I was so frustrated, um, and yeah, and it, extremely scared, I would say, because aphasia is word finding, and then I also have I was a maths brain before my stroke, so I could do add up in my head and that sort of thing. So I can't add up in my head anymore. And then I used to be an avid reader, but I listen to audio books now because I've only read 2 books since my stroke, and I just can't concentrate. I read the same page over and over again. So it's extremely frustrating and really scared at the start. People at the start, people used to have a patronizing look on their face because wasn't talking very much, and people thought I was stupid. So yeah,
That must have been very difficult.
yeah. And I haven't experienced that for years, but at the start, it felt like people thought I was stupid. So yeah.
Shan, what are some of the strategies that helped you tackle aphasia and apraxia in those early months and years?
So I talk a lot slower now um, than before my stroke. So the strategies I use were people often talked for me at the start, and I let them talk, but um, the that's the word finding. So I'm finding the right word to say. So hang on. Let so when talking to a person with aphasia, make direct eye contact, minimize the background noise, um, talk in talk naturally but slower, and then don't ask too many questions at a time. Just ask one question, or ask, what do you prefer, a banana or an apple? And then have a sense of humour. So I used to say thingo a lot after my stroke, and Sean used to say, I don't speak stroke, mum. So have a sense of humour. So yeah. Practice, practice, practice with apraxia. So apraxia is difficulty planning and coordinating the muscles used during speech. So practice, practice, practice. So I was doing speech therapy twice a day in inpatient rehab. So I was doing speech therapy in the morning for an hour and in the afternoon for an hour. And then I used to practice in between times by myself. So the first words I spoke was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the speech pathologist said the word 1, and then I repeated it. So I mirrored her actions. So, and then I started off with the A's, and then the B's, and then the C's, until I went through all the alphabet. And then I had early supported discharge program for stroke patients for 4 weeks. So I did speech therapy an hour a day, centre and home based, from Monday to Friday. And then I went to community rehab, and I used to practice again. I used to practice by myself 3 or 4 times a day. And then I went back to work, and I used to do all my talking in the morning. So I make all my phone calls. Was interviewing people. I was onboarding nurses, bank nurses, and pool nurses in my old job, and then I do my spreadsheets in the afternoon, and that really helped. And I also started singing, so that helped with my apraxia and my aphasia.
Now, when you did all your work, your speech work in the morning when you got back to work,
Yeah,
is that because in the afternoon you'd be really tired,
yeah,
or it
and
was?
fatigued. And then I like to get my words out first time right every time, and then in the afternoon that would really let me down. So I talked a lot slower in the afternoon, and I'd slur my words in the afternoon, because that was I went back to work 4 months and 3 weeks after my stroke. So, and that really helped me going back to work. So, because it made me talk more. So, yeah.
Shan, what advice would you give to someone who's newly living with aphasia or just starting their recovery journey?
Be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, and I encourage those family and friends to be patient also, and then give the person time to speak, have a sense of humour, and then just be patient and kind to yourself. That's the advice I give.